We are live, gentlemen. This will be on Roleplay Cafe. Welcome, Eloy, Jose, and me at the bottom of your screen. We are playing Adventures in the Eastmark. This is session 1. Hopefully, they will become, well, it will become a campaign of about something, right? I don't want to give it away because you may not make it and it may not matter, but that's our goal. Eastmark. That's what we're going to be doing. So, these gents, Martin and Eldrin, are grazing guardians for the council. They patrol the pasture moors on behalf of the council, protecting cattle and grazing lands and farmsteads and ranches. They are basically patrolmen, so to speak, for the grazing council. They've been doing this for a few years. They know this particular area of the country. This is south of the main highway. I can't remember the name of the highway now, but you guys, your patrolling pattern is southeast of from Robleta, right? Robleta. Okay. 2 days ago, Don Jorge Pierto, a cattle rancher, found you and brought you to a location where two of his cattle had been brutally slaughtered. And you investigated and came to the conclusion that this was they were slaughtered by not a typical beast like a mountain lion. Hello. Oh, I've got somebody's. Oh yeah, great. So screen sharing the map. Here we go. Right. Blue. I thought we lost you. So
No.
here, let me use my. Oh yeah, you'll have to. There it is. Right. Pasture Morse. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Right there.
This is the way of the manticore, the path of the manticore.
That's it.
And this is the city of Robleda.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have patrolled this area. He took you to an area here along this little chain of mountains where cattle had been murdered. He has 2 missing. You have tracked for 2 days a beast, but unfortunately, complicating that track has been 4 other bipedal creatures that appear to be tracking it as well. Creatures you have not seen their tracks before. It is now nightfall. It's about midnight. You are just northwest on the edge of those mountains there of Naderos. It is midsummer. It is the height of summer. It is a crescent moon. It is hot. Your horses are tired. You're tired. You stand at the crest exactly right over this little mountain here at the edge. You're probably a kilometer and a half from the Knoll Tower. The reason I mention this is the Knoll Tower has lights gleaming in the top of the tower. The Knoll Tower has been abandoned for a very long time. And Naderos, the town of Naderos, up into the hills. It is a mountainous hill town, a beautiful town known for its truffles and its golden lamps dotted along at night that light up the little village. It is utterly dark, totally dark. Not one lamp is burning in the streets or the windows, and you're about a kilometer from Nadaros. You smell a pungent, nasty odor in the air. This is of a dead carcass. You know this because you have come across, of course, cattle and deer and things along your journeys, and it is pungent. As the wind changes, you catch this. Both the horses whinny a little bit, and as they smell death in the air, and this is in the direction of Nadaros. This odor.
Lights in the north.
Were the tracks leading towards Nidaros the last time we had light to study them by?
Yes, so you were actually turning and heading into the foothills and the hills there toward Nadaros as far as these tracks of both this bipedals and the beast. The beast has been harder to track because of the bipedal traffic that's trampled it, but you're good enough that you're able to see those tracks and know that they're still pursuing the same creature.
So the tracks lead to Nidaros, not to the Knoll Tower.
Right. That's right. Yeah, they lead toward Nidaros. And you're about a kilometer from the actual where you would come into the canyon. And let me get you a picture of Nidaros here. Now, this is a daytime picture, but let me pull this up. I'll share my screen. Where is my... Oh, well, maybe I won't. Shoot. I'm still getting used to this. Here we go. Screen share right here. Okay. And I will pull up.
Oops. Wrong screen. That's us. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Can you see that?
Nidaros City. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
I can't shift it. So basically, imagine this village up into the hills and the mountains. However, it's usually lit with lamps in windows, lamps along the corridors. It is gone. You can't see it from here, right? It's as if it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
This is terrible news. I believe we must find out what is going on in the city.
Yeah. Nidaros is dark and the tower is lit. This is wrong. There's two possibilities as I see it. Well, there's more possibilities, but perhaps somebody has fled the town and into the Null Tower. In any case, we don't know. I say we shouldn't light any torches, give away our position.
Indeed, our eyes should be used to the darkness by the time we get to the town.
Yes. So we will proceed slowly towards the town because it is dark. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So as you progress, again, on horseback, your horse is a little fidgety. Again, you smell now this pungent odors. It gets worse. As you approach, your horses begin to rear a little bit, and they're snorting. You recognize this. This is the horse sensing something that's dangerous, something that frightens them. He's picking up something. The horses are. This would be Fiero and Cefaro.
Yes.
Make a track check for me, gentlemen.
3.
4.
Okay, and I believe that's good for both of you, correct?
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
if it's in the outside, yes.
So you see a copse of trees to your right, which would be southwest, right? Because you're headed south when you're headed to Navarros. And you can see underneath that tree there seems to be some disturbance of the ground, maybe a lump or a pile of something.
The horses don't like the scent.
All right, so
This-
if you want, I shall dismount and you cover me with your bow.
This is quite dangerous. If we meet this creature in the dark, it'll be harder to kill. I am having second thoughts, but I will cover you. And so I draw my bow, my short bow, and knock an arrow.
Okay.
And yeah.
So I dismount and I just put an easy loop of Sephiroth's rein, one of Sephiroth's reins around Fiero's saddle horn, just so he'll stay by.
Okay.
But if he pulls, he won't pull.
Okay.
And he won't pull out of the saddle. And I draw my sword and I approach the thing on the ground.
Okay. So as you approach and your eyes adjust, you get under the trees, you can see it looks like a half-buried creature of some kind. It's been partially buried. You can see it is humanoid in that it has feet, a head, shoulders. There is a spear laying not far from it, probably a foot or so away from its reach where it dropped this, and it is partially buried, and it reeks. The stench is strong. As you, if you approach it, you can see now that it's been partially eaten. It looks as though whatever has started eating it and buried it, and it went for the liver and the kidneys first. Went for the major organs first, leaving much of the flesh and the muscles. This is a large creature, probably 2.5 meters in height. And it has a dog-like, hyena-like face. You've never seen this before. But
I have to laugh.
You may know. You may have read about it. You may have heard about it. This would be something, a knoll, right?
Yeah.
Ironically, this is known as Dead Knoll Basin here, this range that this separates you from the Vistran lands. So ironically, there's a dead knoll here. And Holy cow. Okay, so you do hear in the cusp of trees to your right above your head, you hear the low rumble of a cat in the trees. And Eloy, you hear it from where you're at, and you see just above his head as this motions. Looks like a large cat is in a tree above your friend.
Oh my god! So I'm going to shoot my arrow at it and shout a warning.
Okay.
Eldron, cougar in the trees, and I,
So
release
you're
an
going to
arrow.
shoot an arrow. What are you doing, Eldrin?
Well, I had my sword in my hand, but since he says that there's a cougar, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for the fallen spear.
Nice.
Take it up with my left.
Okay. So I would not keep you from using it as in this round. It would just be like changing weapons, -2. So if you still want to use it, you can. Yeah. Okay. All right.
If
so
I
now
use it,
now we roll initiative. You're not surprised. Neither is it. But we still roll initiative, right?
Okay. Let's see. Oh, nice. Starting well.
What did you get?
7.
Okay, so you,
1.
sir, have Eldrin with with his speed drops, rolls, grabs up the spear, and he's ready first. Then it will be Martin who gets to shoot arrows before anything, and then the cougar you see out of the corner of your eye as you drop, roll, and grab this spear. You see it coil and launch itself, and it's caterwauling in the air the whole time for you, Eldrin. It's screeching. This is an angry, hostile, aggressive mountain lion.
Ouch.
All
right. So here we go.
+1 for close range.
Ooh, nice. This is not too hot. I only hit armor class 7.
Okay. And that's with the +1.
Yeah.
Okay. So from where you're at in the dark, he leaps just as you fire, and because of that, your arrow hits in the tree as he's in the air now. All 4 of his claws, his feet, right, are coming at you, sir. And you now, he's coming for melee. So it is now your go there, Eldrin.
All right. So Eldrin, with his left, he kind of like sinks down on one knee and sets the spear. So I guess the charge.
Okay, so we'll give you a -2 for the hit. You change weapons, but we'll give you a bonus to damage, like charge damage, +2.
Perfect. So I'm going at -1 total because of my strength. And I rolled a 16 + 1, 17. That's armor class 1.
Yeah, nice. That's a hit. So 1d8 damage plus your you've got it in the ground, right?
Yeah.
Fear is 1d6, right?
Oh, it is. You're right. I think it is. Yes.
Yeah. So it's a 3 + 1 for my strength 4, nice. Plus you said 1 more for the setting the spear. That's 5.
Okay, 5. 2 more for setting the spear, so 6. Okay.
6, yeah.
It hits this, of course. Maybe cutting it severely under its ribs, etc. But coming down upon you with its first claw, twisted. You feel that claw just miss you. The second attack hits armor class. Oh gosh, here we go. Hits armor class 14. Hits armor class 3, and does 4 points of damage.
All right.
Okay, and it won't activate its bite unless it hits both claws. Bang bang. Right. So no bite.
All right. That's for me.
All right, so round 2. Now let's. Do you guys want to roll initiative every round, or do you want to stick with this set initiative?
I like rolling it because it's unpredictable.
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right. So let's declare. The mountain lion, of course, is going to he's going to eat Eldrin.
So I'm going to dismount and start running closer, nice. So that I can line up a better shot.
Okay.
But I'm still with the short bow, and drawing an arrow as I go, and trying to, keep a distance, but not not too much.
Okay. Okay. All right. And Eldrin.
Eldrin is going to, he released the spear, and puts both hands on the hilt of his bastard sword and smacks this
Nice.
this thing.
All right. So here we go. Initiative. I have a 2.
As do I.
I have 5.
All right.
So I'm still.
So we'll simultaneous for us, Eldrin, but you, sir, can shoot and move, or move and shoot, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So you,
Yep.
Perfect.
So, but I'm in any case, I'm still in short range,
Yep.
right? There's
Plus
no
1. Yep.
point blank or anything. So, I forgot to check range combat. So anyways, here we go. There is, oh geez, I'm not really shooting very well tonight. I hit armor class 6.
That is a hit, sir.
Oh,
So
cool.
1d6
Excellent.
damage.
Yeah, that's 2 hits.
Okay. Ooh, you hear it scream out as it continues its caterwauling and screaming, violent, nasty. You've seen mountain lions before. You've never seen them this irritated, this agitated. Something is amiss here, right? Penumbra is upon this cat, right? He is full of penumbra,
nice.
right? Okay, let me make
Full of it.
Yep. Okay, it is. We'll let you go, Eldrin. It's simultaneous, but you go ahead and go first.
Oh, nice. I rolled another 16, so plus 1, 17. That's armor class 1 once more.
Okay.
And that's 6 hits.
Whoo! Holy cow! Again, carving a deep wound into this cat, and it with its first claw. You definitely avoid that after you've clawed him, and you avoid the second. He is clearly wounded. He's limping. He's now sloppily going for your legs. And before, and he is backing away, wounded badly, slinking away into the trees. So, declare action, what you want to do, as he's slowly backing away from you, Eldrin.
I think I want to shoot it again. This is the predator that has been taking down our cattle, so I'm going to shoot it again.
Okay, and that's just a free shot because he's retreating, he's fleeing, so that's a free shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'll also smack it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Initiative?
No, it's just fleeing. So
arrow first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a 13. I'm a class 5. So that's 3 more hit points of damage.
Again, another arrow lodges into the side and it screams out, but it is still now it's turning to try to run as bad as it is wounded.
All right. I think its turn may have saved it because I hit armor class 8.
Okay. Yeah, so you somehow just your sword just misses its hindquarters as it's limping off. It's moving half what it should be able to move. It's in bad shape. You can pursue it or take another shot on it as it links into the darkness, into the trees.
Well, if Martin doesn't kill it, I'll do the weapon penalty thing, and I'll pick up the fallen spear and hurl it at it again.
Okay.
If I can still see it, I'll try and finish it off.
Yep. Yeah, it can't get away from you, really, as bad as it is.
Nope, this one hits.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this one misses. This is a 1, so.
Okay.
All right. 13 plus 1 for dexterity, 14. Plus 1 for close range, right? 15, so that's armor class 3.
Okay, that's a hit.
And,
damage.
And there's no damage bonus for missiles, so 4.
Okay, this spear. Describe how this spear hits and finishes this mountain lion.
What I would picture is, as it was turning, Eldrin hurls the spear and it sinks deeply between 2 ribs and the point into the heart.
Nice.
So it goes down.
Nice. Okay, it screams out in what pathetic life it had left anyway, as it kills it almost instantly once you pierce the heart, right? And okay, so again, this thing was acting more aggressive than you would ever anticipate. protecting its food. There is still a pack, and there's still things on the body, like a backpack, etc., on this gnoll body. If you want to investigate, you can learn more, of course.
Yeah.
Martin, mayhap you could strike a torch while I bind this wound.
Yes,
Which,
yes.
by binding the wound, I'm assuming I'm like binding it with arnica, right?
Mhm.
So I have a couple of doses.
So I take up flint and steel. I stole my bow and strike flint and steel to light a torch.
Okay.
And stand, holding the torch while Eldrin, heals himself. When he's done, well, no, I'll just wait for him to do it, and I'll keep watch on the town because there's a light now, and we're visible from the town. So,
did you say you were healing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I rolled a 4, so over the next minute or so, I should
you'll
be
get.
fine.
I think you only had 3 points, so you'll get. Yep. So you'll eventually get all 3 back, right?
4. I had 4.
Oh, 4. That's right. Yep.
Bandaging the wound with arnica, so that should.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Looking at what's left of this gnoll, again, he has a pack. He has a dagger. He has a hilt with a dagger. Again, from what you've been tracking, as you look, if you just take your time, you can discern these things. You don't have to make a roll. You just got to take your time in this torchlight. Its feet, as you inspect its feet, clearly these bipedals that were pursuing your beast. These are the tracks of the bipedals that were in your way, right? So you can assume that the 4 that were tracking the same beast you were tracking were these creatures, gnolls. Right, and it's your best guess, but by what you've heard and what you maybe have read, this is a gnoll, right?
Yeah.
In his pack, he has 12 gold pieces, 25 silver pieces. He has an onyx gem set into a collapse that holds his that collapses onto his backpack. It's like a pin. It's a lapel pin, but it's an onyx gem. His dagger, as you pull it loose, is a jeweled dagger. This is very nice stuff for what you might think gnolls would carry. Right? This is pretty valuable stuff. There is the spear, of course, and there's a shield laid by. The shield is and spear both are a little oversized compared to your normal human size because these are large creatures, so they can be used, but they're on the large size. And from the tracks of the beast that a mountain lion clearly was not the beast that you were tracking, right? You would know mountain lion, scat, mountain lion tracks.
It wasn't.
No. There's another beast that you've been tracking that is not that you've never seen before, right? But you at least now know the 4 that were hunting it were gnolls.
One is down,
and it looks as though this gnoll lost a battle with a mountain lion somehow along the way, right? And he'd become food. Okay.
Yeah. So as Eldrin is searching through the pack and grabbing the stuff, Martin is actually holding the torch so that he can see. But I'm keeping lookout to the village, right?
Right.
And I mentioned this, there's one dead gnoll. There's 3 yet remain, and whatever beast we were tracking. Jose, you're muted. Something's going on.
Yeah, 4 gnolls could not have taken down that whole village.
No.
We best approach carefully. Mayhap we should leave our steeds at the edge of the forest and approach stealthily.
Yes. We'll leave them loose so they can run if danger approaches. We don't know if they're trained, so we'll call them back if we need anything. So I'll say hold while I look for arrows, and I'll try to recover. Is there a way to recover some of those arrows? Maybe the ones that missed?
I would think the ones that hit the cat, the 2 that hit the cat, you could salvage.
Okay.
The one that missed into the trees, probably in bad shape, right?
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
you could
Sure.
salvage the two that hit the cat.
Okay. That's good enough. That's fair.
Okay.
Excellent.
The
Excellent.
spear,
So
of
I go
course, is salvageable. And if you
All
want to
right.
harvest this meat or fur or coat or anything, that's up to you.
So we should skin it, not leave it to
yeah.
wait.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll load it on the horse and we'll skin it later.
Gotcha.
Just, you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So you're about 200 yards from the mouth of the. So this is I've got a map of the city, but I can't really, ain't going to help you. But just so you know, I do actually have a map of the
Oh,
city
nice.
of Nadros, right?
Nidaros.
Nadaros. So it works. It's like a town that's got homes at different steeps, right? At different elevations,
Gotcha.
a lot of vegetation, and it comes into like a little valley, and the center. You've been here maybe a couple of times in your journeys to stop and have horses shoot or to stay in an inn or something, but you don't know anybody here. You've not been here a lot, but you have been here, right?
Yeah.
So as you approach, and there is some infrastructure in that it's stone cobbled. These are tile buildings, and Nadaros is a mix. There are some poor hovel area, buildings, but they're not necessarily the key of the city. They're not the beauty of the city. So these are stone buildings. There's cobble. As you get into the city proper, there are cobblestone streets, and there are lampposts that normally they keep lit. They usually have a town crier and a couple of guys that walk around, make sure these stay lit. They have patrol. But as you approach, you see the first lamppost, which should have a lamp glowing, and there is this cloud of mist that obscures the lamp light. And as you walk, you begin to realize all of these lantern lamp posts are obscured with some kind of mist, dark fog, and it's just obscuring the light of these lamps. As you progress uphill into the heart of the village or the city, you now can hear at times echoing through the canyon, whimpering and wailing. You actually spy over in the darkness up against one of the stone homes. It looks like a body in the darkness. Can't quite tell from here if it is a body or if it's moving or alive. And you can see, again, every lamppost has got this black mist or fog obscuring the light.
And it's mostly over the lamppost, or is it like laying all over the city?
It's mostly over any lit. Matter of fact, some of the homes, as you walk by some of these eye-level homes and you peer through what would have been shuttered windows, you can see their candles and their lamps are obscured by this black fog that just blots out the light.
What
You can
sorcery
see,
is this?
yeah, you can see people inside. They appear to be catatonic. Some are trembling and sweating, eyes huge. They might murmur and cry, and they appear to be in terror.
These shadows of penumbra lay over the village. Foul sorcery is at work. And are they rushing to my torch, or
Nope, they are. They are.
Okay. They seem to be stuck in place.
They appear to be catatonic or in a state of deep mental disturbance.
Yeah, it's what the shadows from the lampposts don't fly over to my torch.
Nope.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I don't know how to dispel such magics.
And
I'm not adept.
You've just come into the what's called I can't say it. Nadaros proper. Where the cobblestone starts is where the city starts, and you're just coming into the cobblestone streets. These are narrow, tall roads that lead up into the canyon, and there's homes all along these mountainsides. And again, no light, all blotted. You do hear, like I said, echoing through, sobbing and wailing, like maybe some people up ahead aren't in a catatonic state. There is, as you slowly creep forward, you do pass the bundle. And sure enough, it is a body. It doesn't appear to be moving at all.
So at this point, I draw a second torch, from my pack. I light it, I put it together with mine to light it, and I hand one to Eldrin.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, "Here, we must be careful."
And
So, and we see a body, right? Like a.
Yeah, it would have been one of these soldiers and one of these lamplighters, right? One of these guys that would patrol the night, and he's up against the wall. If you investigate, I'll tell you more. And Eldrin, at this point, you're feeling really good, right? You're feeling fully healed.
The on-card's working.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll go over and look at the body and see, if it still lives or if the shadow is upon it as well. Yeah.
He's got a look of horror on his face, terror, and as you check his pulse, he is indeed deceased.
Okay.
As if he had died of fear.
Right. There are no visible wounds upon him. Right. He didn't have his weapons drawn as if he was prepared for assault.
I'm gonna try something, Eldrin. Watch my back. If I am stricken, then perhaps you should flee. And I go over to like one of the lampposts, and I want to poke it with my torch. Get my source up to the darkness and see what happens to my torch.
Right. It just accepts your torch into it. It just expands around your torch.
So it accommodates, dims my torch as it goes in, and then I draw it out.
Yep, but it doesn't.
It's still lit.
It follows it a little bit, but then back around the lamp.
Okay, and my torch remains lit.
Yes,
or is it?
It does.
Okay.
And you both begin to sweat profusely, and you begin to feel high anxiety, and you begin to feel a little feverish and shaking.
Oh no. Is this both of us or just me?
Yes.
Both of us.
Anxious. Like there's some,
Is there a chapel or church in this town?
Yes, there would be one at the top center of the village.
And what manner of chapel would it be? Like one to Valian, the Lord of Light, or?
This would be. I would say it would be Valian. Right, as the main religion of the Marvellar.
Marvelarians.
Yeah. I'm trying to say Valorians.
The Forest Kingdom. The Forest Kingdom.
The Forest Kingdom. Yeah. So yes, that would be Valiant. Yeah.
All right. So
let us make for the temple, my friend.
Yes. If there's any hope of battling this darkness, it would surely be there.
So as you progress up closer to you pass more homes that clearly are blotted out. There are more bodies. Some of them are alive, and they're sweating and shaking, and they're mumbling to themselves like they're in a nightmare state. Some, unfortunately, are dead. And you need to both make save versus spells for me now, please.
Oof.
Spells.
Spell. Oh, jeez. I guess a 4 is not going to do it, but,
I got a 13 plus 2, 15.
Okay, so you'll take a full 4 points of damage as you sink to all fours. You drop to all fours. You drop your torch. It rolls away, and you feel unbelievable pain as your body is convulsing, and you go into this nightmare vision. And this is a personal vision for you, maybe a fear. The fear is unbelievable. This may be a fear for your character of imprisonment. Who knows? As a wide-ranging grazing, who knows what your worst fear is? But that's not the worst. And you, Eldrin, you suffer just 2 points of damage, half that. But you fall to one knee, and you as well begin to feel this fear, and you begin to see the same visions.
Let me turn this off.
Okay.
There's too many texts.
You see flashes of ogres and orcs, goblins, as they decimate the small town of Poplar Grove. You see it in flames. You see people in chains being hauled away by orcs and ogres. Then you see Naderos as its beautiful mountainside canyon town is aflame, and ogres are killing and pillaging, and goblins run amok. And then you see Rablada, and the bridge is under siege by an army of orcs and goblins. Ogres upon the bridge, and above Roblada, flying black beasts, and in the city, smoke and flames of Roblada. As you suffer this extreme pain, it lasts who knows how long before you're able to gather your wits and stand to your feet and get some control of your fear and your anxiety back as this wave of fear and visions hits you. So painful, it's caused, of course, some damage. And you can imagine maybe this is a foreshadowing or something else.
Damn. What in the... And once we recover, is there any change in the village? Does anybody look like they're recovering, or they're still...
You are still hearing some wailing and crying. You can hear some people yelling out names of all you can assume is loved ones. The kind of wailing that somebody would have for a dead spouse or a dead child. You know from the pain you suffered, and you don't know how long you were in this state, right? It's hard to say. Your torch... both your torches, of course, Eldrin's torch is better, but your torch is almost out. So you may have been writhing in these states with these visions for quite some time, right? Well, at least 6 minutes, because your torch is out. So that would be at least 6 minutes. But it could have been longer. It could have been 10 minutes, right? But your torch is not out, right?
Yeah. So I grit my teeth and I draw yet another torch. And
again, you're about halfway from village center, by the way, as you climb up this mountain, cobbled streets. The city is still beautiful, but there are some bodies and there's wailing and crying that you're hearing echoing from other buildings, right?
And the temple is at the city center?
Yeah, it's in the city center with the common house, right? And the statue. There's a statue in the middle of the square to Valian.
Yeah. Should we proceed, Eldrin?
Yes.
Penumbra holds the night. Perhaps it would be wiser to hide out until daylight and come back.
Our only hope is in the light. Let us go.
All right. And I follow along. I light the other torch from Eldrin's and follow.
Okay. As you top the cobblestone streets, and you can hear some of the wailing a little louder above you in the mountain homes, and you turn into the square. You can see the temple on the other side. You can see the statue of Valian in the middle, and a ghostly visage turns toward you. It is the same kind of black, shadowy mist as it turns to face you. Standing in the village center, hovering over a magic rune, scrawled upon the cobblestone, a dark cloud, 3 meters tall, turns its visage toward you. A black silhouette of an armored warrior, whose head is covered by a horrible helm, fashioned to represent the head of a hound of hell, Soltar himself.
Ooh. Oh my God, this isn't good.
The visage, right? And he stands 3 meters tall, and his hand, as he turns and points, he doesn't say anything. You see this smoke, these tendrils of this same mist.
I say, Valiant, avail us. We can't fight a god itself.
What is that beneath it?
Some sort of marking.
You can see on the cobblestone like a white glowing rune that it appears to be hovering over.
And it's just glowing, so we don't even know how it has been inscribed. Hang on a second.
It might be time for a Tootsie Pop.
Nice.
It's hard to be intimidating while you're sucking on a Tootsie Pop.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, I will devour your souls and rip your guts out. And
Exactly. I'll celebrate. I get to eat this in celebration if one of you die, but if you don't, I can't eat it. Okay, is that fair? That's
we'll try to help you. We'll try to help you avoid the Tootsie Roll until tomorrow. So actually, that's the perfect snack or candy for RPGs. Is how many licks to get to the center?
Yeah.
1d6. It's always different. So 1d6,
right.
1d8.
Exactly.
Okay, here we go. Sorry about that.
No sweat. No sweat.
So you're eating candy? Well, versus like
No,
yeah,
I'm
gonna kill you now.
It'll be difficult to be intimidating if I'm sucking on this. I can't do that.
I'm a lollipop. Yeah, it's like.
All right. So, and so it looks at us. Does it say anything when it looks at us?
No, it just waves its hand, and then it turns. It just turns away from you, almost as if it's kind of aware of you, not concerned about you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go forward, and I'm gonna go take a closer look at the rune to see if it's something that can be erased or something.
Okay. As you approach, watching this thing turn, again, its visage, as it does, it just points, and it does this in every direction, as if it would be pointing at anyone who's in the square, right?
Yeah.
And as you approach, you see that this is a glow, and it's one small rune etched on a cobblestone, right in front of the statue of Valian. So this thing basically is as high as the top of the statue, right? But it's a cobblestone.
But it's etched.
And it's
the rune is etched
with
into
some
the stone.
magical rune, right?
Yeah, but can it be defaced? Is what we're trying to ask. Like, can we break it somehow? Or
I mean, you could hammer it. You could hammer on the cobblestone with something if you want. You could try that. You could try. It's entirely up to you. How would you want to deface it?
Let me look at my character. Well, I have iron spikes or picks, as they call it, and I can use the back of my hatchet as a hammer. I can try to ruin it.
Okay.
So I hand the.
If you want to, go right ahead.
I'll try. So that's what he does. He puts the torch down. He goes down on one knee with one of the iron spikes and tries to deface it.
Yeah, I go beside him, pick up the torch, and stand over him.
Okay.
Right?
And as you shatter and break this, this thing above you spins wildly and evaporates. You notice all of the lamps that are covered. Poof, it goes away. All the lights that are lit still. Some lamps have burned out. Who knows how long this has been happening during the day in Naderos. You hear
the light.
Now you hear an eruption of even more wailing as people wake from this stupor, realizing they're hurt. You know, they've suffered pain and anguish. They've been living in this state. They begin to come out of their homes and pour down. First, about 20 to 25 surround you. They drop to their knees and they touch you and they thank you. Then it's about 50, and then soon 100 as you stand surrounded at Valian by hundreds of people as they cry and they thank Valian for you. Today Valian has saved us. And they stand. Some will come up and kiss your hand, hug you. And one man brings his wife down, drops to his knees, and lays her on the pavement and cries and wails to Valian for his dead spouse. They all take their time, slowly working to you. They want to touch you and they want to thank you. You have saved us. And eventually they move away, they console each other, they discuss and murmur among themselves what they witnessed, how true could it be, this is unbelievable. And one of the elders that you would know, Juan and his son Gabriel, they are two of the town's elders. His son, of course, is the head of their town militia. They approach you and they thank you, and they say they saw in the vision, right before it was gone, we saw you slay Soltar. We saw you both cut Soltar down as we awoke. It's remarkable. How did you do it?
There was no evil god here. It was some sort of sorcerous trick.
Where is the village priest?
Is he... That is me. I am the elder, but I am also the priest. Okay. One, yes.
Yes, Valiant and Aaron have surely been with us this night, but all we found was this rune, this vile rune inscribed on the floor, and so
yes,
Eldrin here valiantly defaced it. That seems to have broken the spell.
Yes,
but who engraved this here?
We have been having trouble. Someone has occupied the Knoll Tower, and we sent word to the Duke 4 or 5 days ago, but they have not returned. There's been a grotesque beast that comes upon us and takes our murder and does murder and takes our children and our livestock. This unbelievable grotesque beast. It is not of nature. There have been gnolls and goblins about of late. This afternoon, an evil creature, an evil-looking man obscured in black robes, accompanied by this same beast, strolled into our town center. We all took refuge in our homes and away from in our church and away from this man. He put a mark upon the cobblestones, barked curses and foul language. Then this tonight happened.
This, you had never seen this man before?
No, but the beast that was with him. This has been the beast that has haunted us and come for us and come for our people and our livestock. We sent another messenger to the Duke about this. It's been 2 days, and we have not heard word. They have not returned.
Well, no word has reached Robledo, at least not when we left.
You men, I see by your sash, you are grazing guards? What brought you here in the middle of the night?
The Grazing Council has precisely sent us to track some manner of foul beast which has been slaying the cattle near Robledo.
You are certainly in one of the areas in which he has tormented us. It has tormented us.
Yes.
Mayhap we can find its tracks here. Sounds like he may be within striking distance now.
They came in. They walked in broad daylight into the town center, and struck the pavement with this, and he etched runes and screamed some foul curses in a language, I believe, Ungalos, but I'm not certain. Valian did not much for us until you arrived, and now we know you were sent by Valian. You must have been, for the visions ended with you slaying Soltar. Oh, we lost Eldrin.
Okay. Yeah, so it's getting these resets every so often, so it's probably that.
Okay.
He'll pop in a few minutes. Sometimes it takes a while for the thing to reset, but yeah.
I wrote this module for the start of this campaign, and I rarely use modules, so it's kind of nice. Fun. I never use other people's, much less my own. I prep totally different than this, so I have to remind myself, what did I want to do here?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, going, okay, wait, It's mine. I wrote it. I should know.
Yeah, lately I take modules and I just chop them up and use bits and pieces of them. Yeah.
So,
but yeah, sir, it's pretty good so far. Oh, here we go.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. My nightly reset.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you went to bed. I thought maybe you said, okay, that's enough of that.
That's it. That's enough of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's getting dark. We're battling.
Dude, I'm wearing this
encounter. I'm going to sleep.
Many of the locals come to Juan and ask for him because you're hearing now, just listening and watching around, how many of these people died of fright. Older people, heart attacks, They didn't survive this horrible spell, whatever it was, and they're now asking for him to come and speak to them. And so he's overwhelmed by locals now are trying to drag him away. Gabriel says that we have a militia, but this literally hit us. I have no idea how long ago, but it was after the lamps were lit and the men were patrolling. There was no assault per se.
Well, you should rouse the militia, and just in case.
Did anyone get a?
Go ahead.
No, did anyone get a look at the beast? Was it like a bear, a panther, a wolf?
It's a grotesque. It's pustules. It's tall, almost too. Oh, we lost it.
Oh no, Jose dropped again.
Uh-oh. You just blinked.
Yeah, you blinked.
Hopefully you don't know.
Yeah, let's hope not. You show green bars. I have yellow bars. Jose has no bars.
Yeah. That's one reason I like to host it. I don't know if it matters, but I have very good internet, so I don't know if it matters. But
yeah, my internet's pretty bad. Jose's is usually good, but I don't know. Mine is less powerful, but I think it's more stable than Jose's. Because whenever we play, I see him blink a lot. Yeah, there we go.
There he is.
It's tall. That's where I was cut off.
What did you ask? I forgot.
I said like a
bear, wolf, or
cat. So it's a large, almost 3 meters in size. Not quite 2.5 meters. It is covered in pustules. It has large claws, and it does not carry weapons. It is scantily clothed, in something that just covers its genitals. It's slobbers. It has a large. He describes this just grotesque. It looks as if it is a grotesque mixture of something from my worst nightmare. I've never seen anything like it. I would say a mixture of orc and ogre or something. I just don't know.
And does this description match the tracks that we were following? Like, were they bipedal?
Yes, the size,
or was it?
You could tell from the stride of it. It's probably 2.5 to 3 meters in height. He describes it having clawed hands and large clawed feet. That would definitely be close to what you were tracking.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'd say you should rouse the militia anyway. The lights from the town must be visible from the Knoll Tower now. If that is their hiding place, they are surely alerted to the fact that their curse is ended.
I will, and he goes to the town alarm bell by the church and begins to ring it. And you hear him telling names. Go get Robert. Go get and they're bring your weapons. Oh no, and get your armor.
Jesus.
Shoot, we may have to go to Discord to finish, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. Plus, internet's strained these days.
Yeah, so especially with this. Yeah,
and it's 9 p.m. It's like prime time.
Yeah.
So everybody's watching like Netflix or something.
Right. It's true. Our local IP is giving us all a gig free until this is over.
Oh, nice!
I already get 100 megabytes. I pay for 100, but they're giving a gig free to everybody on our until this is over, which is really cool.
That is great. That is great.
So
because my daughter studied during the day, so they had to do like my daughter was using Zoom today to. Do
Zoom
video conferencing and stuff.
If I could afford it, I would do Zoom for it.
Yeah, no, it's this is free and it looks pretty good.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the problem is on Jose's side.
Okay. Well, we might have more luck with Discord, but we're gonna give him a.
Yeah, let's give him a couple of minutes. Yeah. Just got checking the phone in case he checks in. Yeah, it's a nice set, and there we go.
This
Uh-huh.
internet threw me off.
Is the internet again? Yeah, I figured it's probably Jose's side. But I'm saying it's 9:30. I mean, everybody's watching Netflix.
Yeah.
Like the entire island, it's like 3 million people watching Netflix now.
Did you turn down your video quality? If you click on those three bars at the bottom right and change your video to
No, it was my internet gave out. I mean, it was like I noticed because my Dropbox went offline.
Oh,
the little
wow.
icon.
Yeah.
It went to, so it was my internet just went
Gotcha.
down.
Okay, because
Yeah,
you're green. You're green now. So
Right, I was red all this time until now. So
Okay.
hopefully,
okay.
and then Eloy just went yellow.
Yeah, and the options, like Jason said, there's a thing that manage video quality, and you can actually turn it to standard definition. and sort
Mine's
of,
in standard. I put it in
Yeah.
standard.
So did I.
I said
just to make
standard,
sure.
but it looks freaking amazing
Yeah.
because
Oh, it
it's
looks great.
right there. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
So he's telling his the people closest to him that he knows, get your armor, get your weapons, meet me back here. We're going to set a perimeter around the entire city of Nadros. And then he comes back over to you and he says, "Thank you for all you have done. We will not soon forget your slaying of Soltar. I almost can't believe I saw it."
So, well, I think that is too much to claim, but at least we disrupted the spell which summoned his shade here.
Yes, Velix abandoned us and allowed Penumbra to nearly destroy us all.
What I'm thinking is, should we go to the tower now, where we can use darkness as a cover, or wait till the morning and hopefully the light of Valion will strike fear into our enemies? Of course, they could see us approach easier.
Perhaps we should approach and get closer, like scout the area out and wait till morning to move in.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to head back down to your horses and ride hard, ride fast?
Right.
Right in that direction, but not take the road directly from Nidaros to the tower, but like sort of go toward the mountains again and sort of skirt the mountains.
Okay.
Right. So in case they sent like a force to town, we don't meet on the road.
Right.
Right. And then sort of once we're close enough, hobble the horses and then proceed on foot to get a closer glimpse of what we can see.
Yeah, in the darkness of the night, as you ride, and you're doing exactly as you when you come down and hit again these moors headed toward the Knoll Tower, skirting, you do see a glow on the far side of the pasture, north of the Imperial Highway. There, the throughway where Poplar Grove is. You see a glow of what. You've seen forest fires in your days before. You could only say must be a fire at Poplar Grove. And that is a long ride. You wouldn't get there before morning, but you do see as you come out of the valley here, out of the mountains, out of Nadoris, and you're riding, you can see a glow now in the direction that would be Poplar Grove, which is quite a ways, right? It's just a glow on the horizon. It's about 2 a.m.
Nice. In Spanish, that town is called Alameda, which is really nice because they have Alameda, Robleda, and Olmeda, which is outside the map to the west.
Nice.
And they're all types of trees. Alamo is poplar.
Right.
Poplar Grove, it's the city of Alameda in there. Or the town. It's not a city, it's the town of Alameda.
Right.
And Robleda should be Oak Town or Oak Grove.
Town or something, yeah.
Oh, right. I'm happy they didn't,
Grove.
And Olmeda should be Elm Town, right?
Elm Grove, yeah. It's like,
so what is Nadros?
I'm not
So
I'm
that's
not sure
just that's just a fantasy name.
probably made up. Probably.
Yeah.
Unless it's some obscure word.
I looked up Nadros thinking this got to have a name. This got to mean something, and it didn't. I said, okay, so
it's probably made up. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
As you can see, as you slowly on the horizon of the tower. The tower is tall enough that you can see the horizon against the the sky, and you can see there's still lights aglow in the top of that tower as you slowly approach. How close
They
do you want to
said,
get before you hobble the horses and?
Where there's some cover for them, the
Sure,
closest tree
sure,
line.
yeah, yeah. Find a little
yeah,
dip in the so they're below eye
Yeah,
level, kind of thing, maybe. Okay.
yeah, right. And
Um,
then use our cloaks, trying to sneak in.
yeah. So as you let's just do that. Let's use your let's see here. Let's use your I think tracking. Tracking would be similar to hunting and stalking, right? If you were hunting and stalking
Okay.
something, so let's use tracking, and let's
or
just.
if you want to sneak, we surprise on a 1 to 3 on the die in die
Oh, well then
6.
never mind. I'll make the roll if you sneak up on something.
Right,
Okay, great. Duh.
right.
Duh. Yeah, okay. So,
So I tell Eldrin, they seem to have set fire to Alameda there by the Poplar Grove.
Indeed. But there, it's a far distance. Perhaps we can find out what's going on in this tower.
Let's get closer. They may have left the tower to
Yeah.
ravage Alameda as they did Nidaros.
as you approach, again, you don't want to get close enough, really, that they could see you, but close enough that you can see
Right.
if there's.
We're
Okay.
scouting.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, we're
lying
scouting. We
prone.
know there's lookouts on top of the tower,
Right.
lookouts at
Well,
the base of the tower.
As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
let me share a screenshot of what the tower looks like.
Prone in the grass, typical scout.
Right. So let me. Oh, I did it again. Let me screen share this, so you get an idea what the tower looks like. Yep. There we go.
Oh, nice.
So again, there are these windows that are lit, like you can see, and then the tower isn't like a battlement. It isn't like someone could be up there, right? It's closed in. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So it's just got windows.
Right.
So it's not like there's a guard standing on top of the tower.
Bingo.
Okay.
Now they could be looking out those windows,
Yeah.
But you'd maybe, if you were closer, you might even see their heads or something, but you're not, you see glow. So again, but you do see around the tower, you see a long, it's probably 12 meters. It's a stone staircase that leads up to a door in the base of the tower. The tower is about, 30 meters high.
Okay.
Okay, so it's pretty high. You can see windows in about 4 sections, so maybe there's 4 floors, right? In this 90 foot high tower. The very top doesn't appear to have windows or anything. It's just a
Cone. Yeah.
cone with and again, some of the tower is covered in moss. Some of the stone stairs that wind up to a door in the front of the tower are fallen and broken. Remember, this was supposed to have been abandoned, but it's not in total ruin. I mean, there's not holes in the side of it. It hasn't been caved in. It's just supposed to have been abandoned at some point. You do see what appears to be something, again, laying about at the base of those stairs. You count them, it looks like there's a bundle there, and a bundle there, and a bundle there. If you had to guess in the dark, bodies?
But there's nobody up and patrolling that we can see?
There's no movement at all on this side of the tower. You're on the west side of the tower.
Yeah. I say we should take advantage of this darkness and get as close as we
close,
can.
yeah.
Yeah, because
So we're trying to sneak in close.
Yeah. So we'll try and sneak in, with our cloaks, slowly making our way there, right? So as not to movement may draw the eye.
Okay.
But under cover of darkness, see if we can approach those mounds and check out what they are.
Yeah, and as you do, Eldrin, you at your feet harmlessly hit a couple of arrows from one of the very top windows, and you hear some barking echoing. You can actually see the light shift in the windows, like they're moving. Maybe somebody's moving around, or there's somebody with torch moving around, or a lamp. As you slowly approach, you don't appear. No arrows hit around you, Martin, so they may not have seen you, right? Just a couple of arrows hit harmlessly.
Oh, so there are arrows raining down. I thought they were on the ground.
Just a couple. No, a couple of arrows
Somebody
come down from a window up above, and you can hear
Oh,
squawking.
shot.
The squawking you can pretty much recognize as goblin. It sounds like a goblin squawking,
Yeah.
right? And the arrows, if you glance down, maybe Eldrin, and snatch one off the ground as you slowly approach, it is a goblin arrow. Some dark,
Okay.
ugly, non. I mean, it's just poor quality. It's black feathers. It's got a nasty serrated tip on it. It's a gnarled tree limb. I mean, it's
Yeah.
of the dark. It's of the shadow. It's a penumbra quality weapon. And you
Well,
see from here, you can see there are about 3 dead gnolls and a dead thule and a dead creature,
Oh,
large creature with claws and clawed feet, and it looks grotesque and mutated, and there's pustules, and it lay among 3 dead gnolls, and it lay dead. It appears to lay dead.
huh. Is there a door up this, like the entrance to the tower? I know it's a flight of stairs leading to a door. Is there an actual door, or is the door collapsed, or is there a hole, or what?
Yep, I will show you the door. I got it here. I actually have the tower door. Can you see it?
Yes, amazing.
So it's this broken up stair that goes up to a door, right?
Okay. All right. So what I would do is, because they're shooting arrows at me, right?
No, they've
right?
stopped. Once you pass that threshold, they don't have an angle. So it's like as you were coming, they shot at the farthest length they could, but you've breached this angle they can't shoot at.
Yeah.
Right?
My intent was that run all the way to the tower. So okay. So we've done that.
And you can see again this large dead thing and 3 dead gnolls lay about. No other creatures. Right?
Nice.
You do hear squawking and echoing back. You can actually see the lights go on in the next level low. Not lights go on, but you can see like they're carrying the torch maybe downstairs. You see these lights coming. So as you're approaching the stairwell, you're seeing the lights light up as it comes down.
Coming down. Let's go quickly. Let's get in there.
So we're gonna rush up the stairs.
As you hit the stairs and take a couple of steps up, you hear squealing below you, and you see 3 goblins come around the east side of the tower, and they're coming up behind you. 3, right? They come from behind the tower somewhere else.
Nice.
So you are on those. You're on this stairwell looking down. You see these 3 goblins come up and around.
Oh, might as well return the favor and shoot one.
Nice.
Okay, so they are trying to charge up the stairs with weapons. So they're kind of falling in line, trying to get on the stairs. They can fit 2 at a time. You can be here 1 at a time. They're smaller.
Right.
Matter of fact, I've got a goblin picture, but you don't need to see the goblins, do you?
We know what the goblins look like. But since Eldron was going up the stairs first, that means that I'm second. So I draw my sword and I grab it in both hands and get ready to meet their onslaught.
Okay. And so let's. So I'm assuming everybody's looking to attack here, right? That's our declaration.
Right.
Okay. So
Right.
Initiative.
Exactly the same.
5 for me.
3. Okay, I go first.
Okay, so
Bring it.
What are they shooting or rushing?
Oh no, they're these guys don't have bows. They've got little short swords. So 2 come up onto your. They move up. There's no ranged here, so we'll move on to melee.
No,
right?
there is range.
Oh, you're shooting. Oh, so you shoot. While
I'm shooting over my companion's head. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And these are goblins, so I got a +4 to hit, and it's short range.
Yep.
So at +5, 18 plus 5 is 23. I'm assuming that hits pretty much anything.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that hits just about anything in the whole game.
Yeah.
And for 5 hits.
Oh, through his head, kills him instantly. You know he's going. And he's coming up after you, Martin, and you're thinking, "Oh man!" And then you see him right off the edge of the stone stairs. Okay. So
Yep.
he is out of the picture. The other one steps in beside him, and they're racing up to you. Let's see here. One of them tries desperately as you bat it away. You bat away his little short sword, and the other hits you. He hits you in the hip, but it doesn't breach your armor.
Nice.
Okay, so it is now your go, sir.
Mm-hmm. So I hit armor class -6. So
Nice.
and I do
Nice.
plus I do 6 points of damage. So I bring the sword about to strike the after I parried his blow, I swing it up and
Yep.
and strike one of the goblins.
Lop his head clean off his shoulders. His head hits and bounces his body off the edge. The other one looks, and I need to make a morale check for him. As the two of his he looks at you and starts swinging. You first see another group of 3 come around the west side of the tower. They're circling around. You see it first, Eldrin, and then Martin, you realize that now there's 3 coming around the north side of the tower. So these guys came around the south side of the tower. These guys are coming around the north side of the tower. So as a second wave of 3 as they hit the stairs. Okay. Okay. So again, they're going to attack. Right? They're trying to attack.
So I yell to Eldrin, take down the ones at the bottom, and I'm gonna keep fighting as well. So initiative.
I rolled a 2, but
2?
luckily I'm miscellaneous.
I rolled a 1, so
still it's missile fire first.
All right, that's 13 plus 5, 18 for 3 points of damage.
Now, is this one of the new ones that are approaching, or is this?
Yeah, the new ones. Yeah,
so,
the new ones.
Again, describe how this kills him. This arrow.
This wasn't as much damage, so I'm saying it's a gut shot. So he's gut shot and squirming on the ground.
Okay, nice. Yeah. All right, and it is your turn, Martin. As you stand on this stairwell, it's just you between 3 goblins and your buddy, right?
Yep. Yeah. So did we kill the 3 that were attacking us? We killed 2.
There's one attack. There's one still at your feet,
first wave,
and he was yelling from the first wave. These 3 came around. He just killed 1, so there's only 2 left there, right? Yep.
Yeah, but the one right in front of me that I just beheaded his buddy.
Yeah.
I just lift the sword and bring it down up on his head, and I hit him for 5 hits.
Oh, you cleave his head in 2, splitting him down to his
like
sternum.
A melon.
Right. You have to almost kick him off the end of your sword. Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Let me roll. Before these guys. Well, actually, I guess they would attempt to attack before I roll morale. I think morale's last, right? Isn't it in our?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they would at least try. Seems kind of strange, but okay. So, charging up the stairs, these 2 little goblins coming up at you. Oh, we lost him. Yeah. We'll go ahead and complete this.
Sure.
Ooh, 18 for 4 points. So, this guy charges up and drives into your hip. You can feel it cut and breach a little bit. The second little goblin, again, this one you bat away with your sword, right? As you pull it loose from his dead friend.
Yeah, I managed to parry at the last second.
And they begin to scream and jump off the edges of the walls like they're trying to get away from you.
Nice. The reason why it works is because everybody's committed at the start of the round, right? So we were told it's an order, but everybody's committed already, right? And then it hits them that, these guys are bad news, right? So we got to flee.
Right.
So
that's exactly right. Yeah, it just hits me. It's like, well, I would check morale like right now. You just lopped one's head off, right? But yeah. So.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because Jose mentioned the other day that he was getting these resets like periodically, and it's almost 10 o'clock.
So it's like hour on the hour. Yeah.
Yeah, so it might be because the other one was at like 9:30.
Okay.
So that's really bad.
Well, these two, one damaged you, and then they jumped off the walls. They look like they're trying to run away from you. Right?
Run away. Question.
Yes, sir.
The 4 points that I took in the village originally, those haven't healed because those are normal hit points.
Right.
This is not like temporary damage or anything.
No,
it's
that's right.
blown.
Right.
Sure,
So
no problem. I'm down to 14. Yeah.
Probably sucked on. You probably should have chewed on some arnica on your ride over.
Yeah. I you know what I didn't? I thought it was more like mental thing, and it's like, hey, you wouldn't chew the arnica for that,
Right.
you know.
Right.
It's like I'll certainly get on it after this combat.
Right. Yeah, but no, it was real damage. Yeah. As your muscles cramped and
I love the little sound. This little sound that comes on when Jose pops back in. Everything's quiet, and then it goes, zoom, and he just like materializes. Did you notice that? I love the sound. It's like a rush of magical energy as it like teleports in.
Unfortunately, Martin has fallen to your two goblin. But no, the goblins have jumped off the wall, off the stairs, and they're trying to run away. So you could both get an opportunity attack as they jump, right? If you want.
All right. Yeah, I'll shoot one.
Okay.
Yeah. And I guess I'll shoot one as well. So I'll take -2 to the.
Okay.
So I rolled a 15 plus 5, 20. So that's armor class -2 for 4 hits.
Oh, okay. You've killed another one as it jumps from the wall. You maybe in flight as it leaps. You put an arrow at him, right? And his body just tumbles and spins.
And the one I hit, I think I hit because I hit armor class 12 plus 1 because I switch weapons. So it's 13. It's armor class 5.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So this one takes 3 hit points of damage.
It screams out as it lands and rolls. It breaks your arrow off when he hits and rolls, but he's up and he's running off into the darkness west, down the road, basically, right? The Knoll Tower sits at a crossroads, basically, right? And he's running. He's not dead, but you wounded him pretty good.
Yeah, I'll tell Eldrin, watch the door, and I'll fire another arrow if I can still see him.
Yep.
And that hits armor class 2.
Okay.
So that is 5 points of damage now.
So you level,
gone.
Take your time, and through the back of the neck, you see him stumble, and he stumbles some more. You're thinking, maybe I didn't kill him? And then you see him bounce, and he doesn't move.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can still hear a little bit of squawking and screaming like mad behind the door. So this would be Eldrin, right? You can hear these goblins and they speak and there's filthy speech, screaming madly at something, and you can hear boom, 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 and you can hear roaring, literally behind the door behind you.
Well, I switched from my bow to sword and knife, just in case I have to throw a dagger, so Eloy will be happy.
Okay.
And and I try to kick the door open.
Okay, you'll need to make an open door check here. It's barred.
Oh.
All right. So it's at 1d6 and add my strength bonus, right?
Yeah, open doors.
+1.
Actually, I think it's just you have an open door rating based on your strength, right?
It bases 1 to 2, and then you add your strength. So I from 1 to 3, I can kick it down.
There you go. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, because of my +1 roll. And I rolled a 2.
Okay, so bam, you kick this door in. It teeters and then kind of busts and hangs on its hinges. And you see just briefly the torch flashing about the room. And as you poke your head into this, you see one of these mutated, grotesque creatures with and he's swinging at these little goblins that have come down the stairs, and they're screaming at him, and he's swinging at them. And it's like Thule is in this room, preoccupied with these pesky little goblins. And when they see you, and they start to back up the stairs and go back to the next level. So this Thule right now is his back is to you, and he's preoccupied with these little goblins that were trying to come down the stairs.
Oh, he's getting smacked.
So you technically have surprise.
All right, so that's basically a free attack. So,
Yeah.
so let's go for
But you know there are 3
surprise.
goblins on the in
Right.
that room above, right? This is a circular chamber, about 25 meters in diameter. There's a stairway on this side, on the left-hand side, going up.
And just to confirm, obviously we do not get our humanoid hit bonus against the tool.
No.
It's not on the list. So I have a +1. That's
Are you rushing inside? Like, are you?
Yeah, I'm stepping in and smacking him. Yeah.
Because if I get a clear shot, then I want to shoot.
Yeah, I'm moving inside. I'm not staying on the door.
Yeah, you would
I'm
have
walking
to, you
up
would
to
have
him
to
and
come
smack
into the
him.
room to hit him. So yes.
Yeah.
So I want to shoot as well.
Okay.
So
So you would shoot first then.
Exactly.
I'll stay in suspense.
Jeez. I'm so busy trying not to hit Eldrin as we go in that my arrow goes wild and just hits the door frame, right? The stone frame, and breaks.
Okay.
I hit armor class 6.
Okay, that hits.
Then it takes 7 hits.
Whoo! It screams out, bellows, and it's mad, right? And it swings around, has long claws on its hands, and it eyeballs you up and down and takes its first swing at you, sir. Oh, 20. That unleashes.
Nice.
Oh my God! That unleashes his nat 20.
Oh no!
You need to make a save versus paralysis, sir.
Oh, paralysis. Well, that's a good one. That's a good save. That's famous last words.
Yeah, that's like a 13 for me because of the bonus.
Yeah, I have, and my con is actually my best stat, so I rolled a 14, so I made it.
You took 2 points of damage. I'm not doubling damage for them. I just let 20 activate their special if I roll a 20.
Yeah.
Right.
So 2 points of damage. His second claw, though, right? Is a 1. Totally missed you. So he smacks you hard enough, and then almost hits you out of the way of his other hand. Bam, and then misses with the other one. Okay. And roaring, he's mad now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So now we need to declare he is now He's coming after you, Aldrin. Both hands again, right? Swinging.
Yeah. So realizing that the space is just too narrow for an adequate missile fight, I'll stow the bow and draw my sword and rush in.
And the room is plenty big enough. It's 25. It's 25 meters in diameter. So. You can easily fit in here, and the ceilings are very high. This is a 90 meter tower, so the 4 levels are very high ceilings. Right.
All right.
Okay.
I plan for some smackitude as well.
Right. Okay. So let's roll initiative.
Nice.
3 for me.
6.
I'm sorry. I was looking at my stuff.
That's okay. 5.
You two go first.
6. All right. So attacking with my sword.
Okay.
That's 11 plus 1, 12. Armor class 6 again.
You got him.
4 hits.
Okay. Roaring as he basically stumbles into your blade, right, as you cut into him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Martin.
And as he's howling and just reeling back from Eldrin's attack, I come in from behind, horizontally swinging at its back for 6 more.
And that's actually a bonus. You're attacking from behind. I do believe that's a bonus. Right?
Well, I hit anyway. So
Okay.
I hit anyway. So I just come in and cut him.
Nice.
On the back, like sideways slash.
Sweet. And damage?
6 hit points.
Ooh, 6. Oh, well. Describe how you bring this Thule down.
Well, exactly like that. Like he just reels back from getting, a thrust from Eldrin, and then he just runs right into me.
Nice.
Cleave its spine. Cleave its
cleaving the
spine
spine
or
like chopping a tree. Yeah, with a sword.
Woo. All right, so
Awesome.
it collapses, it's bleeding out, it gurgles and shifts and tries to drag itself and then expires on the floor. You watch as the blood puddles and runs, right?
Mhm.
Not very far, but as you track the blood and look at each other, sweating and thinking, yeah, we've done pretty good here. You see a hatch of a door that would lift up in the floor to go down, and of course there's the stairs leading up. There is nothing else in this floor.
Okay.
You do hear
Two.
above you, clanging and rattling around as
Yeah.
those goblins must be headed back up the tower, right?
Two of those foul creatures. Look, a trapdoor beneath. I say we go take care of those goblins, though. We don't want to leave them behind us. You might want to trap us in here.
Agreed.
Up the stairs we go.
Agreed.
So,
All right, so I'll lead the way up the stairs.
before we do that, though, I grab some arnica and start chewing on it.
Okay. And make a roll for how much, and then you'll get one back per assault.
3.
Okay. So just one every action, right? Assault.
1 now, and then 1 every...
Yep. So every single time I ask you what you want to do, you'll get one back, right? These are per assault, not per turn. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So you get them back pretty quick, but in a combat it would be tough, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so as you now these again, this is pretty high, so it's about a 9-meter climb, right up to the second floor. As you arrive here, it's shelves, and again these are round. It's a round. Oh gosh, it's around a tower, 25 roughly. And as you come up, you see from floor to ceiling bookshelves. Some of the bookshelves have books on them. There's a large table with maps and books and scrolls. As you approach that, you see most of it is written in a language you don't understand. You do see some symbolism of Zamora and Soltar, right? There's some symbolism that would be, is it Zamora? I think it's Zamora, right? If I got that right. The one of the goddesses of, I think it's Solta's wife. Right.
Zamordax.
Yeah, Zamordax. You recognize the cult symbol of Zamordax on some of these, stamped on some of these documents and scrolls. Again, nothing in this room except the stairs on the opposite side, right? So you came up the left side. Now the stairs going up to the third floor is on the right side. So you got to cross the room and go up on the right side. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of documents, a lot of books, a lot of maps here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And does it look like somebody's been perusing them actively?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because the goblins would not have been looking at this.
Nay. It seems we've arrived at a fortuitous time. Whoever's drawing these maps, they're out. They must be in Alameda. Let's just take care of those goblins.
And as you pull one of the maps, you can't read the language, but you see clearly Poplar Grove. There's like a circle around it and an X in it, and Nidaros, and then of course Robleta is not marked or circled, but those two are actively, and you can see where he drew, and you can see almost like ticks next to Poplar Grove, like he's ticked, like he counted off something. And you can see a symbol. You know what? Let's make an intelligence check. Add your bonus, roll under, right? So whatever your intelligence is, you add your bonus and roll under that.
Bonus? What are you talking about, Jason?
Oh, but I rolled a 3.
Okay.
I rolled a 7, which is under my 11.
Hating goblins and orcs. You recognize the scribble. You even know what the Ungalo's word for orc is. And it's ticked off about 40 of these ticks on the Poplar Grove, where he circled it and marked it. So looks like he sent 40 or a platoon of orcs to Poplar Grove. And then you see for Nidros, it's got a particular rune mark, and the rune mark that's etched there on that spot on the map is the rune you crushed in the town.
In the town.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And you, by the way, you got 2 hit points back for the Arnica, right? There's been 2 turns of information, so you've gained 2 back.
So I grab the map.
Okay.
And I roll it. I put my sword on top of the table, roll up the map, and stuff it in and then grab back the sword and let's go get the goblins quickly.
We move.
Who's going first? Up to.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first.
All right. So as you. Okay, so you both up the stairs into the next room. This, again, let me double check my description of this room, make sure I don't have it wrong. Okay, so just 3. Okay, so these 3 are in the room. 2 of them are waiting on the stairs on the left side, and they leap off as you come in, and the other one is below you, and he's like waiting for you to come up those stairs, and he's charging you. The other 2 leap off like they want to jump across the room on top of you, right? So that they're attacking. Okay, you're not surprised at all, of course.
Well, my declaring is I'm gonna throw my knife at, since I have it in my left hand, at one of the ones that's jumping down on me.
Sweet.
Nice.
Okay.
And I'll rush past him since he's doing that, and he stops and throws a knife. I rush past him to intercept the other one with my sword.
Okay.
That's my declaration.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So let's roll initiative. Ooh. 2.
6.
Okay, you guys go first. You're waylaying all these pathetic little goblins, man.
All right, let's see. Oh, man. That's 17 plus 5 because it's short range and all this stuff. That's 22, so armor class minus 4. 4 hit points of damage.
Oh, nice. He takes this dagger as he's in the air. He lands, looks up, and he pulls it out, and he starts running at you with it, right?
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So I intercept the one that's coming, that was going for Eldron.
Okay.
Now it's got to deal with me.
Yes. Ooh, nice. You cut it off. I love it.
Is a ridiculous armor class of -1.
You hit it, of course.
So I do 6 points of damage.
Oh, so describe as he's trying to run by you, angry with Aldrin's dagger and his little short sword. His eyes are fixated on Aldrin.
Impale him on his thorax, on his chest, and then just sort of like drive the sword.
Nice. The one that is in front of you on the ground, and he was swinging at you the minute you popped into the room. Hits Aldrin, but doesn't penetrate Aldrin. It takes this little short sword in the side, but no apparent damage. And the other one lands now on top of Aldrin. Oh my gosh, let's look here. Your armor class is 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm on the wrong chart. Let's double check that. He hits and does 2 points of damage with his short sword. He comes down on your head. The pommel, bang, hits you on the top of the head. He doesn't manage to get the blade in. 2 points of damage. He hits the floor and goes, ah! And I'm going to make a morale check because you wiped out. And they both square up, ready to go. The last 2 goblins.
Yeah, so
they think they can take down a couple of grazing guardsmen.
Yeah.
Glorified cowboys, right.
Yeah. So again, they're both right now around Aldrin, right? As they just ended up in this situation. Remember, I rolled odds or evens to see who they'd go after. That's how this happened. Okay, so not cool. Picking on you, Jose. It's just that's the way the dice told us.
Hey, I was leading the way.
So they're gonna, of course, melee with Aldrin.
I declare melee.
Yep.
And I'll rush to his aid. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. Whoa. Ooh, 1. Don't even bother. I rolled a 1.
I got a 5.
Okay, you go first, Aldrin. I guess, right?
All right, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this fun unarmed combat rules.
Ooh.
So Eldran, with his free hand, will try and grab the goblin and smash him against the wall.
Oh, nice.
Because I got a nice bonus for that. So let's see.
Woo.
Oh man, so that's 10 plus 1 for strength, that's 14. That's armor class 4.
Yes, you got him. And
So
this will
that's
kill him. He's only got 1 hit point, so this will kill him. dead.
that's 5 points of damage, right? Because I do 1 plus strength plus constitution.
Yep.
Nice.
So Eldrin's a blotter, so he grabs him and just smashes at human height against the wall and cracks his skull.
Nice. Oh my god.
The unarmed combat is
1 plus strength bonus plus con bonus.
that's the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah.
So it's fixed. So it'd
Yeah.
be like
Yeah, there's 1 hit point.
yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Right. And I would
Yeah.
argue that it would be non-lethal damage, but he's declared he wants to kill him, so I'm okay with that.
No, not necessarily. It can be
Oh,
non-lethal. I grab him and smash him against the wall.
okay. So you don't
Yeah,
want
I'm
to kill him?
brawling. Maybe we got a prisoner.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he's unconscious. Then we'll call that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm,
should have asked you. I just assumed you were killing him.
I'm
Yeah.
inspired to try some of this stuff then. So I run up to the other goblin that's
Don't
trying
mess
to
it up. Don't blow it, Martin.
and I'm gonna kick him. I'm gonna kick him back. And I
In the
roll,
duels from behind.
yeah, it's like I hit him. It's a ridiculous number. It's
Ooh,
19
nice.
-1 armor
That's
class.
4.
So I do
1 plus your con bonus.
yeah, it's 1 and 1. So it's 3. 1
3
for
total.
con, 1
Oh, you kick him. He stumbles back into the wall. His
Yeah.
eyes go big, and he snarls this sputtering, nasty saliva, and then comes running back at you. So you've got his attention.
Yeah.
He's not looking at your buddy anymore. By the way, last assault, you gained back your final hit point,
Yes.
right? So you full, right?
Full-
Yeah, he
was-
comes
was that
running,
good?
stumbling in mad anger, swinging. You're able to just bat him away, right, as he stumbles through. Now let me make a morale check. Oh, and he stumbles by you and down the stairs to the next level. He's so you would have both of you could get a shot on him as he is running for his life down the stairs
Yeah.
Go for it.
to the library.
Yeah. I'm gonna do as Eldrin has taught me. Only I'm gonna draw my hatchet and throw my hatchet.
Nice. Okay, throw it.
We have exactly the same weapons. I love it.
Remember,
We
this
didn't
is
plan this.
remember this is also short range, so you get a +1 for that.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's +4 because it's also a goblin. So, oh boy, do I hit it? Yes, I hit it. That he takes 3 more points of damage.
Okay, you kill him. You can describe that if you want to, or just leave it to.
The hatchet just strikes the back of his head, yeah, and he
It's
collapses
like,
on
where is
the.
he going?
There are no bonus, man.
You see him tumble down into the room below. You lose sight of him as he tumbles basically down the stairs into the library below. Now you stand in this room. This is empty chamber. There is 1 stairwell on the left up to the final, which you think must be that 4th row of windows before the top, right? So
Yeah.
you can surmise that those windows are the last the level, right?
Yeah. So, yeah.
You got 1 unconscious goblin at your feet here, Eldrin.
I'm gonna
I'm
go.
gonna tie it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go poke my head up on the final floor and see what's going on over there.
As you do, you see sitting in a chair on the opposite side under one of the windows is a robed figure. He's got a staff, and as you pop your head up, he looks up. He pulls down his
Cowl?
hood
Yeah.
cowl. He is pale, lean, dark eyes. His lips are bright colored. He's dark. He has dark rings, and he smiles and he says, "Grazing guard, a grazing guard. Welcome to my abode. and he stands up. Again, he's maybe 5'7". He's not a big guy. He is a human, right? And he says, "Come into my."
Said the spider to the fly.
Yeah. So I keep my sword raised, pointed at him, and I say, Eldrin, there's a man here. He may be our foul sorcerer from the town.
On my way.
Foul sorcerer? What is this you speak? What town are you referring to?
Yeah. Have you been to Nidaros?
Nidaros? Yes. It would be nothing but a graveyard by now.
I see. Then you do not bother to deny your association with these foul goblins.
Oh no, they are but worker bees.
So I suppose you are the queen bee then.
Mm-hmm. Yes. If you let me return to Ungalaz, I have great rewards for you.
No, you shall travel to Robleta, where you will be tried and hung.
I will go with you. I will go peacefully, but you guarantee an audience with the Duke.
We guarantee nothing but that you'll see the justice of Robleda. Surrender now or die.
He smiles. A couple of grazing guards. I could not have predicted this. So be it. So be it. Soltar will see me through. He hands his staff over and sticks his hands out to be bound. Yes. In this chamber, a couple of books, a fireplace.
We're also going to
gag him.
Gag him.
Yeah, he doesn't resist. He smiles at you the whole time.
I'm thinking in Spanish because of this game. I'm like, Mordazar, how do you say that?
As long as you're not cussing me, I'm fine with it.
No. I would only do that in English, my friend.
Yeah, it's no fun if people can't understand it, right?
Correct.
So you have him tied and bound. Upon his person, very little. He has this staff. It is heavy in weight. It has a gold cap on the top that is bolted to it. The bottom of the staff has a bronze cap, and the bottom of it is scarred up pretty good, where he clearly uses it to put wards.
That's how he scratched the rune.
And he doesn't resist, right? He refers to Robleda as a Mercorca. Then take me to Mercorca before you gag him.
That's the ancient form of the name. Yes, so we gag him, and we search his possession for rings or amulets, or or if he has a belt pouch of components and stuff like that, we'll deprive.
Take everything that he could.
Yeah, he has like a pouch with things that he would use for his elixirs and his magic. Nothing of value though. No rings, no necklaces. He wears a black robe. As you search him, you find on the backside of his left hand, he has the marking of the cult of Zamordox, right? Tattooed are marked in some kind of mark on the back of his hand. And
I'm here.
Oh, I think
I'm here.
I think his dog is up to something.
Right.
One of the dogs.
I'm here.
That is the recognizable call of the owner. Oh, come here. Don't do that.
And it's quite a few. So
it's like when I'm playing D&D, they have to go outside.
Right. Yeah.
The rest of the day, they're fine. They just wait.
They just chill.
Yeah.
And
is he ever going to play D&D so I can go to the bathroom?
There is no apparent access to the gable. As you get up here, it's not a ceiling. It's this domed top, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
some vents. So there's no like hidden chamber above that. You can see the actual dome gables. He has hanging from that some kind of burning incense. He has a little fireplace going by a crack in the wall where it can funnel out some smoke. He has a chair, a table, and a book on the table. Again, it's in some strange language. That's all that appears to be up here.
All right. So I guess we'll take the book as well.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We already took the map, so
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and on our way down, we'll loot the goblins in case they have any coin or anything.
Yeah, the goblins carry. Let's see here. We'll assume now when you get back to the bottom floor. So the goblins have 9 to 12 gold pieces. So I'll just make a quick roll. 10, 17, a total of 24 gold pieces.
Nice.
They have ratty old patched work leather armor, daggers, and short swords.
Excellent.
Good.
When you reach the bottom floor again, the floor you came in, the door's hanging off, and again there's the
Trap
beast,
door.
and you can see the trap door where some of the blood is run now, into that trap door. Mm-hmm.
Is there still time? Do we still have time before dawn? Right?
Yeah, it's probably only about 3 a.m, right?
Oh, okay. So so
you
we'll
arrived
try
at
and
the tower about 2. It's not taking you quite an hour to do this, right?
we should take a peek at what's beneath here before we leave. We want to get moving as soon as possible.
Indeed.
We don't want to linger here. Yeah.
All right. So as you approach and grab this hatch, it swings open easily. It's not locked. There is a steep stairwell circular down. You can actually see the floor below. It's not that far below, maybe 8 feet below you.
Yeah. So we take a torch, and I'll carry a torch, and what we'll leave the wizard.
It's lit. There's a lamp down here.
Oh, okay.
So it's lit.
It's lit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing with this wizard?
Well, they're tied, right? I'm going to use my rope and tie their necks together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a spike in the wall and loop that off there. So if they try to, they'll choke themselves against it.
The goblin and the wizard are tied.
Connected by a rope.
You watch his eyes as you tie him next. He's clearly not happy to have this thing tied to his neck, right? The goblin, I mean, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So as you descend, this is really literally small enough for one of you to fit through at a time. As you come into this room, you look down. I'm assuming as soon as you can, you try to eyeball. You see a lantern setting on a stove. This is clearly a kitchen. There's another doorway off of this. It's a small room. And there's something cooking on the stove. Let's make a tracking check. Who's leading the way here?
Yes,
you want to take
You go ahead this time. Yeah, go ahead this time.
Okay. So I figured you're stronger, so you're probably carrying the wizard. You were leading the wizard.
I left him behind.
I open the door and I take the lead. All right. So it's a tracking roll indoors, which is 1 through 5. That's not bad. No, wait, 1 through 4. But it's a 3. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's still a 3.
As you track across the floor, you see dirt and footprints. You recognize immediately the footprints in the dust and the dirt of a goblin. You track across and you see where it's curled itself up, and it attempts to be hiding in a little cubby behind some dishes.
What to do here?
Surrender or die.
Yeah, I figure that's what I'll do. I'll say, all your friends are dead, little goblin, but you can live. You can live if you surrender. We have another of you taken prisoner. come out. And
all the dishes spill out as he scurries out and stands up. He's this older, thin, clearly the cook, right? He's got an apron. He has like a butcher's knife hanging from his hip, and he looks up and he, appears to be holding something in his mouth. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't open his mouth, right? You notice hanging around his neck is wait a second, I gotta find it. Maybe it's in my hanging around his neck is a gold necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He has a you notice at his feet, shoved under the compartment where he was hiding, is a bag that he clearly got under there with and shoved it in there with him. And then he is wearing a gold necklace, and again, clearly his mouth, he's not opened his mouth. And goblins you've seen or faced always seem to have their mouth open, always saying something, always growling or snorting or slobbering. His mouth is firmly shut.
May I, Martin?
Yes, please.
So I basically, I sheath my sword, walk up to it, grab it, turn it upside down, and start shaking him.
Okay, let's make a die 6 check. There's a 1 in 6 chance he's going to swallow what he's got in his mouth.
I rolled a 4.
Okay, you hear it hit the floor, pop and roll a little bit. You see it before your friend does as he's shaking. It appears to be a white pearl that he had in his mouth. It hits the floor. And it's covered in slobber and mud now from the floor, but
gross.
The gold necklace is so large for him, it's right off his head onto the floor.
Yeah.
You jingle about 10 or so gold coins out of his pouch. When you flip it back onto his feet, you hear his pouch still ringing with gold. That has another 15 in it. So 25 gold necklace, white pearl.
He was always stealing the treasure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
in the bag in the cubby is a scroll. Some kind of scroll.
Cool. So we'll take all of that. We have the map that we took from upstairs.
And as many of his notes as we could.
Yeah. So there's no other exits out of this room? I'm guessing not.
There is really a hole in the foundation. And you can see where there's a ton of goblin tracks that came through here and out. Probably the ones who ambushed you around the front came out of this hole and came around the tower.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could go up, you could crawl up and through this hole outside, but it's clear they used this to come out and circle around the tower, right?
Now let's just go out quickly. So I say up the stairs. I'm guessing Eldrin just went up the stairs with the goblin.
Push him around.
He's not fighting.
I pick up the rest of the stuff and put it in the sack that the goblin was using, and we'll head out.
Yeah. So this guy will also be restrained and joined to the other 3, like in a chain.
Okay. Are you going to? They're going to slow you unless there's a way you can put them on the horse, right? They'd slow you down quite a bit.
Yeah. I think, Martin, if we want to scout out what happened in Poplar Grove, we should maybe leave our prisoners in Nidaros.
Yes.
And maybe the men-at-arms can take care of them, deliver them to Robleda.
That seems like a sound plan. And some of this treasure will surely go to help the affected victims in both Nidaros and Alameda. So, we make for Nidaros once more.
Okay, so you arrive there again shortly before daybreak, maybe an hour or so before sunup. They have calmed. The village is much calmer. You can see where they are wrapping the people who passed away from this attack. They are preparing them for burial. They're going to probably have a mass ceremony. Does
the guy from Ungolos look surprised that the village is functional?
Yeah, he's He is he
Disappointed.
looks surprised, but it's hard to express with his mouth gagged and his hood. But
Right.
definitely he is surprised you're headed that way. When you arrive, he's most surprised. However, you do catch him if it's such a way to find him smiling at the bodies that are there, right? As you bring him into town, to Juan, who's helping prepare and stitch these bodies into canvas bags. They're going to have a ceremony. He's overlooking these procedures. You find that they are cooking their famous truffles. It smells the aroma of these
Mm.
incredible truffles that they're famous for are being handed out to the workers, the people who are preparing the bodies and keeping watch. You meet Gabriel in town center, and he says, "That's they all, of course. That's the man." Many people come running up and remember him coming in the day before at midday, and they're spitting on him, and they're cursing him, and they're telling him Valian will be his final judge. Light has been shown upon you, you filthy, and they're spitting on him, etc. The goblins, of course, they ignore totally. They're not in any way paying attention to them, right? Gabriel says he'll take him into custody, and just again over your shoulder, he looks and he points. As now again, as we're getting a little sun up, he can see the glow and you can see smoke from way in the distance. He said, "Looks like
Right.
the visions we had may have been actual events."
Yes.
From what we saw in the tower, this bastard sent a troop of orcs to attack Poplar Grove.
Best as we can guess, at least 40 orcs. And they must have set fire to Alameda.
I don't know if we had it worse than them, or vice versa. But this is horrible. This man will pay.
Yeah, whatever you do, do not remove the gag until he is safely guarded. Best in Robleda. We will warn the Grazing Council that he is some sort of priest of Zamorda's, and a slinger of spells.
Unbelievable.
Keep him gagged.
This is new. There is a shadow rising. This is not good.
Well, the gods of Ungalos seem to be bent upon war once more. We will.
If this is a sign of their first assault, I do fear for the future. And somebody brings around water, wine, truffles, so you can eat something.
We will take some rest if we can.
Yep.
Definitely. Zephyro and Fierro need some rest before they can carry us further.
They take them into the corral, which is right off town center, up into a little valley into the canyon. They have an area for blacksmith and a corral, and they're taking care of your horses. They put you up in the inn for a day or however many hours you think you need to rest.
I will ask if they have any arnica to sell.
Yes, but we will gladly give you 3 bundles of arnica for what you've done for us. It is all we currently have in, but we will give you our 6 total bundles, 3 of each.
3 each.
It's the least we can do.
And most grateful for your aid, and I will take one.
Okay. Well, if you're also resting, I think you get.
We're getting 3. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys actually get pretty good healing if you rest in an inn, right?
How much?
It's pretty darn good, I think. Let's double check. I don't have that part written down in my cheat sheet. I should. I may have missed it.
Damage and healing is page 45.
Okay, so I'm way off. I'm in 70s here. Okay.
All creatures recover hit points with rest. For each day of rest, 1d4 hit points are recovered. Okay. If the resting period is interrupted, no hit points. It is also possible to heal magical, blah, blah, and you can combine.
So it's 1d4 hit points.
Yep, 1d4.
So it's Or
Yeah, so let's do that first. Of course, you're not interrupted. You've been fed. You've
yeah,
been housed.
okay.
So
So I'm gonna roll that.
let's do 1d4 plus 1 since you've got food and
All right.
total rest.
So
Okay,
I'm
so I
up to
got 3.
23.
So I'm up to 20. It's
Okay.
not bad. I'm just 2 points below
Okay.
full. I'll save the arnica for
Okay.
later,
Okay.
just in case.
Perfect.
I should have that written on my cheat sheet. Healing. That's one of those things that comes up all the time. Okay. Okay, so they rouse you probably mid-morning, right? You don't, maybe that evening. Full break, right? Full rest. Your horses are ready. It's probably 3:30 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, right? Now it's just smoke in the distance, of course, in Poplar's Grove. Word came to village during your sleep from Grazing Council guards who sent messages. They came to Naderos to see if what had affected them. They tell Juan and Gabriel, who then share this information with you, that Poplar Grove was indeed attacked, many dead. They burned many of the groves and many of the homes, but they routed the orcs. They ran off about 12. They were led by a human commander, and he escaped with about 12 of these orcs, and they were headed east toward Knoll Tower from Poplar Grove early in the morning, about 3 or 4 in the morning. So somehow you just missed. You kind of do 2 and 2 and realize you just missed what was left of these. But if they went to Knoll Tower, but they were headed that way.
Yeah.
But they were able to defeat most of them and run them off. But they had an ogre that they were able to kill, and so they are spreading the news. They've of course heard the news about what has happened at Naderos and the Knoll Tower. These messengers are gone now, but they came while you were resting. So Gabriel shares this with you and says, "We know more about Poplar Grove."
Well, this is sad news indeed, but at least the orcs were routed.
We must let our commander know because the Duke will want to know.
Yes, it seems we were swift and left in the nick of time. Had they regrouped with their sorcerer, who knows what further havoc they would have wreaked.
Yes, it is. We have not seen an attack like this in decades, centuries.
So
he said this human commander, this warrior, wore a helmet with the symbol of the Zamordocs on his helmet. And they all wore painted on their shields and their armor this symbol as well. So this is clearly the cult of Zamordocs.
yes.
I don't know if the king. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name now. The king of
Odinkar.
I don't know if he would be aware of this or if he would be involved in this, but you can bet he is okay with it.
Yes, the Duke must know. And probably our queen, he will wish to let our queen know.
So should we send messengers to Robleda and go again scout the tower, or take the message
I talked it
ourselves?
over with my father. We don't believe we should hold this wizard here, and we don't want to send our men escorting this wizard to Robleda. We believe he would be better handled by you. We are not comfortable with keeping him here, and we don't want our people to escort him.
Yes.
Then that must be our task, since we took him alive.
Yeah, then maintain the city watch, the town watch, because if that commander is holed up in the Knoll Tower with 12 orcs, he might get it in his mind to raid Nidaros or something. He knows the wizard is taken.
You might want to arm every able-bodied lad in this town.
Oh, we will do so. We will do so. Are all grazing guards as equipped as you? You are more than just patrolmen. You are definitely capable warriors. To bring a great wizard like this in?
Well, we don't know his greatness. He did not. He surrendered as soon as he saw us. We merely faced some goblins
Ah, so he is
on
a
our way
coward.
in.
He is a coward that hides behind his magic. That figures. That
Or he's
figures.
plotting.
Has some sort of plot. Uh, So if we return, let me share the screen here because I have the map here.
Nice. Love it.
So my thought is that if we are returning
Yep.
Nidaros to the to Robleda, we should go by the pastures.
Yeah, you
Not-
know, and you know all of this very well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Land we know, so we should cut across the pastures. And once we hit the settlement here by the pastures, then
Right.
we can take the road.
The trail,
Right.
right?
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So as to
and you
avoid-
know that there are temporary camps, grazing camps. So you know along the way you might run into one of your brethren, and you can give information to your commander via those guys, right?
Right.
So okay, fantastic. So that'll take basically a couple of days. Ride hard along the way. As you ride through these pastures, again, you know these well. They're fairly well secured. You guys do that, right? It's what you do. You do come across young Ross, and you tell him what's happened. He, of course, has family in the north. The north side of that major highway. He has a homestead. He's from that area, and in a panic about Poplar Grove, he says, "I will first report to our commander." And then I'm gonna ride hard for home and make sure my family's safe. And so he says he'll relay this information to your commander, who is Desrico.
Desrico.
Yep.
Desrico.
And we tell him, let him know that we'll be bringing this prisoner to the Duke's to the Duke's attention in Robleda.
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks him up and down real good and says, this is disturbing. And if the other human warrior is as you describe, it looks as though they are now leading orcs and goblins. These types of ungalas. You then rest, water your horses, and ride hard. You arrive, Robla, beautiful, right? I've got a screenshot. I'll share what that looks like. Let me pull that up. Let me screen share first. Here we go. We're almost to the end of this, guys. We're actually going to finish this tonight, which was my goal.
Awesome.
As far as this initial beginning here, documents. Sorry, you don't want to see all this, but where is it?
Oh, we don't mind. Now we're seeing all your secrets.
Yes,
there's the goblin.
It's my secret.
We saw the goblin picture.
There it is.
We know there's goblins in this adventure.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
And it, of course, there's the bridge that crosses the Willow Creek into Robleda, right?
Awesome.
So there we go.
The city of Oak.
Yep. So as you approach, you see it's in great shape. Whatever was in the visions, this part hasn't occurred or was merely part of the fear and that you were facing, because some of the personal fear you had may have been that you first fell upon you, right? Fear, whatever you have personally that would have terrified you. You ride hard in. You're greeted by the captain of the guard at the gate. They exchange handshakes and salutes. As you approach, they tell you immediately, just head for the Duke's castle, and they will see you there. Deliver him in person. We think that would be the way to go, unless you want us to put him in these cells here.
No, we should deliver him.
Okay. Yes.
They take your horses. And again, not unheard of, right? When you come into town to the Grazing Council, they take your horses. You cross the Grazing Council headquarters is only next door to the Duke's castle. as you meet there at the gate, some of his advisors, some of his captain of his personal guard, they tell you to rest and recover. They take you into a chamber where they have food for you and drink. And we will first address the. They take him into custody,
Mhm.
and they tell you they're
We
going to
give
take him.
the
They're going to take him
the
into the dungeons below the castle. And they say, "Rest here. We'll come back with word as soon as possible from the Duke."
Keep him gagged.
keep
He's a
them.
wizard.
He's a wizard and quite dangerous if he's
Mm.
allowed to speak.
Yes, yes. So we'll keep him bound as well. Uh, So they take him out. A couple hours. You've had time to rest, recover. You might have even wanted to bathe. Depends on the nature of your mentality, what you do here. Um, but after a couple of hours of rest, the chief advisor of the Duke comes for you and says, "Follow us. You are going to have audience with the Duke, and you will present your case and what you know and what's happened." And they lead you through the castle. They lead you into a large chamber. It is just him, though. He's cleared it out. There's no court here. There's a throne at the end. It's on an elevated. There's beautiful carpets and tapestries. He sits alone. His advisor to his left. And as you approach, he nods as you approach, and he says, and he stands, and he steps off and comes down and meets you in the middle of the room with
Hmm.
and gives you a warrior's handshake. And he says, "I don't believe I've met you gentlemen before, but I know your commander, and I know the wonderful work the grazing council does for us. Uh, what my advisor tells me is alarming, but I only know that you have brought back a very dangerous prisoner. What what has happened?"
Your Grace, we followed the trail of a beast which had been slaughtering the cattle uh, on the eastern plains, and so we reached the outskirts of Nidaros and found evidence of the foul beast had been there as well, and foul sorcery lay upon the town, wreathed in darkness. Uh, we
No,
investigated, and uh, my friend Eldrin here broke the spell laid upon the town by disrupting a sigil that this sorcerer had inscribed upon the village plaza. That seemed to dispel the enchantment. With the townsfolk having recovered, we then moved north because we saw lights at the abandoned Knoll Tower.
that has been disused for many many decades.
That was our thought as well. That there should be lights there indicated the presence of the enemy.
Mhm.
And so we found at last the dreaded beasts that seemed to account for the dead cattle, and as well as foul goblins in this sorcerer prisoner that we had brought you. And these documents were upon his person, and I produced the
His
maps
advisor
and the
steps in
notes.
and
Yes.
takes everything and nods and bows and steps
Uh,
away and sets them on a table. As
yeah,
he never takes his eyes off you. He's listening intently. The Duke, I mean.
and yeah, and so, Your Grace, we surmised that Poplar Grove had been set on fire. With those markings there, you may see that
Yes.
at least a full regiment of orcs raided the town.
Oh,
But we were
orcs.
also told the next day, and after we cleared the tower of foes, we were told that the orc army was routed, and approximately a dozen orcs and their commander survived and were seen making their way back to the Knoll Tower. We must have just missed them as we rode for Nidaros to spend the rest of the night.
Yes, we heard early this morning about Poplar Grove. One of the soldiers rode hard and got here early this morning, just before you, and with the news of Poplar Grove. and this warrior leader of theirs. This is new. This is something I must take up with my advisors, and I will send word to the queen of your. I am amazed that you two would undertake these tasks. This is rare. This is a rare sign of initiative and danger. I will send note to the queen. Oh gosh, let me get her name again. I've got it here.
Vigdis.
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 To our queen about all of this. I want you to relax and celebrate for the next couple of days while I talk to my advisors. We wait to hear word from the queen. I don't want you leaving the city until this is resolved. And I will take it up with my advisors and my commanders. Our armies are not built for these edge of our borders security. We must do something different. So please, the castle is at your leisure. You can stay here, eat here, and enjoy the grounds. We will also send word to your commander of the things you have done.
We are most grateful for your hospitality, your grace.
You men have done remarkable work on behalf of your home and your queen. It will not go unnoticed. So a couple of days pass. You're bored. At this point, you're bored. You're beginning to think, what the heck? We're just going to lounge around here for the rest of our lives. You were sent for 2 days later. You were sent for by the advisor, and he says they've provided you with comfortable wear and something that is appropriate for the court. There will be a celebration in your honor. The Duke wants to honor you and the work you've done. He has received word from the Queen to confirm this. So this will happen. This will happen tonight at a festival and a feast in your honor. So be rested and be on your best behavior.
Sounds good.
Will, Your Grace.
So we're just basically narrating, right? How we're gonna. There's a big pomp and circumstance. You're in the same chamber. It's crowded with the court. It's crowded with many of the nobles of the area, etc. You are presented. And he provides you with. You're standing at the front of the room, and he brings out on pillows something, and he says, "By order of Queen Her Majesty Vigus II and I, the Duke Reginbrad of Robelia, I hereby entitle you Ranger Martin Valinor, and you, Ranger Ildrin Astorian, with rank Lieutenant of the Rangers of the East Mark, and let all here be witness under Valian Queen, and by oath these men by honor and duty have so earned the Mavelar Cross." And he hangs a silver cross with a silver pendant. It's the Mavelar Cross around your neck.
Nice.
And hangs one around Eldaron's neck as he bows. And then they come out with again a couple of more things on pillows. The Duke then presents you both with a silver cross pendant, hanging it around your neck, and a golden cloak pin designating you as Rangers, a new insignia. He gives you one. He gives Martin a dull and mundane-looking ring, and says, "This ring will provide you with protection upon your deeds for the Queen."
Nice.
And he presents it to you on this pillow, this beautiful purple velvet pillow, and then steps in front of Alderon. And here he gives you, Alderon, a silver dagger. "With this may you skewer the hearts of our enemies, and at the very least fillet a fine cut of venison." It is a silver dagger.
Nice.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Very nice.
Everybody celebrates, applauds, and then they take you into the dining chamber and you feast. Later at the feast, you dine heartily and enjoy much entertainment. And still later, in private dialogue with the Duke, he says, "You will be required to build this, the Guild of Rangers. Recruit well and organize a force to aid me and your Queen in defense of these growing threats, And with that said, to bed, Rangers, we've word from Lord Wainwright of Asland. Darkness is upon the sinister glen. You ride at dawn.
Nice.
And that's
Awesome.
how it ends, gentlemen.
Awesome. This was
Awesome.
great.
All right.
Yes.
Cool.
This was awesome.
This is how part 1 ends.
Yes.
Let's
This
be
was the
clear.
prologue for how the Rangers are founded, right? Cool. That's
Nice.
Awesome.
So let's go over our experience points, okay, gentlemen?
All right.
Okay, so let's do this real quick. All right, so the Thule, so I've got a total here. Thule's 65 experience points. The Goblin. Okay, well let's just do the whole total instead of going through the list here.
Yeah.
I'll send you this.
Sure.
I'll actually give you this PDF for the module so you guys can see it all.
Oh, nice.
Well, we take your word for the XPs. Don't worry
Okay,
about
Yeah,
so-
it.
we don't care. Yeah.
Let's see. You did the Nardus investigation, Nidaros investigation. You did the Null
Nidaros.
Tower investigation. You did face the Mountain Lion, which was a random roll at the beginning. It's the only random roll I had in the game.
Nice.
I had a random roll for the Halfling Caravan, but I decided not to make that roll, so you didn't run into the Halfling Caravan. Okay, you accepted the Duke's offer to become the Rangers, right? We role played.
Yeah.
Okay, so in total, we had 25 XP divided by 2.
25 divided by 2, so that's...
One, that's
2,525, yep. Remember, that counts all the treasure that you recovered.
Yeah, that's 1233 each.
Yep, so 1233 each. And that includes all of the actual treasure value you recovered, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that up and post it tomorrow. So we're up to 5233.
Right.
Yeah.
And your ring is a +1 AC ring,
Yes.
Martin, ring of protection. And the silver dagger is a +1 dagger for
Oh,
and it's silver, so
nice.
it could be a threat against creatures that require silver if it comes up.
Perfect.
Okay, and I followed it pretty close, the module, pretty close. I'm not accustomed to
Excellent.
ever reading, by the way, so that'll be the first time you guys have ever seen me ever read anything. In all the years
This
I've played
was
online, I've never
awesome.
read a damn thing.
Yeah. This is
This was
excellent.
awesome. This was so classic. I loved
Well,
every encounter,
thank
every
you.
second.
The encounters might have been a little under, but again, this was kind of the introduction to how these grazing guys. Yeah, the wizard is in
I love
custody.
the tower, yeah.
You actually took 2 captives of goblins. I did not anticipate that.
Yeah.
The mountain lion was a random roll. And the Thule, the only Thule you would have faced was in the chamber, right? So pretty good. Here's my map of. I didn't even need this map really, but I did it for my own.
Oh,
And then
that's
the tower
awesome.
map. The tower map.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I actually did maps and
That's
everything. I
great.
normally never do this stuff. So that's
That's
fun.
awesome.
But this,
Yeah.
but it made it feel like really classic.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
was
yeah.
awesome.
The
We had
fight-
wilderness,
the-
we had dungeons.
The fight at the stairs with the goblins was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The morale checks though are great. The mountain lion can only fill his morale check, and I make morale checks every time they lose a hit die, basically of damage. And his morale would drop as he took off hit die. So ultimately he slunk away before you killed him, but you ended up killing him. The goblins, their morale's, they're cowards, right? When it comes right down to it.
I mean, I put it on the site, but I love the triggering on the 20.
Yep.
I mean that's the basic mechanic of the in
Yep.
1E there was the dagger of venom.
Yep.
That was the trigger, and
Yep.
that makes sense. It should be like a bonus.
Yeah, I think
it's
I
awesome.
think it shouldn't just be double damage. It should be, and I
Something
like it
interesting.
because it's
Yeah.
a surprise for me too. I mean, if you're facing Medusa, it's like, how do I decide when you have to face the gaze every single turn? And so I like using it. And I actually, Fantasy Age does this. They have triggers in their monster blocks. But I got the idea from Low Fantasy Game, the Low Fantasy 5e game. All of the special abilities are triggered on a roll of 19, which is weird. Why
That's pretty
19? I don't know, but
Because I guess they saved the 20 for the crit.
Right.
And some,
Right.
So,
So I got that idea there, and so I've been doing this a little bit, but today I thought tonight for sure I'm going to use it because the Thule had a paralyzing touch, and I thought every time if he hits you every time, you got to make that save every time. It's
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
once
that
you're
was
both-
that.
Go ahead.
Save or die was the main problem with old school.
Yep, it is.
And none of them used it. If you read
Yep.
what all the DMs would change it.
Yep. Yeah, because it's. I mean, you could be a 12th level, and bam, fell one save, and that's it. That's see ya.
Yep. End of the road.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't like save or die. Right. So I wrote that you would be affected by the rune in the village, but the save would half the damage. So that's all the save could do for you. You were gonna have these visions. It was too intense. And the visions
awesome.
were to kind
That
of
was a very interesting encounter.
the visions were to kind of let you know that this is happening in other places, and maybe this is greater threat than just this little village. I wrote that's not attached to this. I wrote the Poplar Grove scenario in case you guys went to Poplar Grove. So I actually wrote
cool.
an addendum to the module for Poplar Grove if that's where you went, right?
Nice.
So anyway, and I figured, well, if they don't go to Poplar Grove, they'll have to hear about it some way, so they know what's going on there, right? So, but anyway, so we got a good start, and now you can recruit, right? You might have to work with Army commanders and recruit and provide a little bit of responsibility, right? As Rangers, it'd be kind of fun, yeah.
Nice.
So, well, I hope it was fun for you guys.
It was awesome.
It was great.
I have not written a complete module in 12 years.
Wow.
Oh man, you did a great job, man.
I usually prep with I prep with index cards and scraps of paper, and then let's play.
Mm-hmm.
So this I literally wrote. So I'll send you this PDF.
One of the things I love, and we both got to do it, and we would switch naturally, is one of my fetishes is being able to use more than one weapon.
Yep.
Like for me, the one thing I didn't like about 4E is that in 4E you were a hyper specialist.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
And I hate that. I like that, switch from bow to sword to knife to axe. That feels more real.
And that's why I don't like the mastery rules.
Right.
As soon as you start down the path of weapon specialization, you're done. You'll never use anything else again.
And it's boring. And it's not real.
Yeah,
it's just not real.
Yeah.
Every warrior uses every weapon at his disposal.
Yeah.
Right?
That is a
unless
huge
you're a
mistake.
samurai. Unless you're a samurai. Right.
Yeah.
But you still have two swords, a bow, and a spear.
Right.
And then, it also wrecks the math.
Right.
Which is even worse.
Right.
So it's two problems with it.
And my other problem with 4th edition too is you only have the one weapon, but it also all of your little specials were attached to it. It was just it felt like it literally did feel, I hate to say this, like a video game. Like you were mashing the sword button, and then every once in a while the sword button would do a amazing thing.
It was meant to be wow.
Yeah,
that's right. Meant to be wow.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't hate it. I actually enjoyed playing it, and I enjoyed running it a couple of times. But it was like
fun.
This,
it was fun.
It just
it was fun.
Yeah.
My huge problem was that because once then again that reinforces it. Not only is the math better if you have your special weapon, but all your special powers are linked to your special weapon, so you can't switch.
It's boring.
Ever.
It's just boring. Yeah.
And
I
was in one campaign we played that Eloy was also a player, friend Jorge DM. I was of course playing a ranger. I actually spent some feats so that I could actually be good at the bow.
Yep.
So my guy was a sword guy, but I put feats into being able to use other weapons. And it was like, I said, screw it. I'm going to do it because I want to be able to. And in one encounter, it was only one encounter, it saved us, remember? Because he put some flying stuff against us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, I love the old school because I when I play a character, I imagine my character doing exactly those things. I'm going to want that weapon because it makes sense for this, picking up the spear is exactly what I would have done as a warrior. It's like, hey, I'm going to use this damn thing.
was
because
great.
Right.
keep this thing at bay at the very least, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and of course that was written that if you discovered the knoll, there would be a random chance that he was in the trees or around the area. So then I rolled to see how far, and he was close enough that I just put him in the trees because you know you do the two
That
dice
was
6
awesome.
times 3, so he was in the tree above you basically. I rolled
That
Otherwise, it would have been like a
9
shadow
meters.
with
Right.
grass and coming
Yep.
right at him or
Yep.
something. Yeah.
And of course, you couldn't really be surprised because he was so close, and you were. I mean, and I don't know about you, but cats will bury. They'll kill and they'll
Yeah.
bury it, and they'll come back and feed on it. So I thought I might cue you when I said he was partially buried, that you would know a cat must
Oh
have
yeah.
done this.
Oh yeah, and the fact that it ate the liver, it was obviously a
Yep.
predator.
Yep. Yeah.
So it was
Yeah. So I thought, okay, this ought to cue these two that this is a mountain lion or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So very good though. I enjoyed it, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I hope you
no,
did.
thank you.
And now I'm hoping to run some more. We'll just kind of pick a Tuesday that works for us all once in a while and
Yeah.
run it. And when you're
Sure.
ready, Eloy, to rotate, I would gladly play a warrior barbarian from another